Okay, so I know a lot of people trim this part of their Moxon vise and just kind of have a clamping spot for it. I don't know if that's stable enough because the folding, well, for me, the folding workbenches I'm going to use are pretty flimsy. So I'm putting together these outriggers to come off the back, and so I need to make some room around this ring. So I'm going to take a router and just carve in a little bit of a groove. And then I made the mistake of putting the hole in the wrong way on this vise, so I just moved it over because of the difference in the lengths here. And so I actually have a bolt hole here already, and I have the bolt and the nut and I think a washer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mark this after I carve this out, just a little bit. It's a little bit of space to let that washer, and this can sit flush. So once that's all done on this one and that one, then I will take this apart and I'll use a trick where I put a Forstner bit through here, tap it, and then I'll drill through on the point that's left, and then I'll squish everything together, and then I'll be able to clamp more effectively in the back here. I also need to put some drywall screws on these guys to reinforce them, but that's the plan. That's where I'm at right now. Okay, so I've got the extra nut and bolt, and it's extra long. So it can pass through. It's going to seat in there. It's going to have enough room to go this way. And so I think it's the same size. So if I mark where this one has to go, somewhere around there, I can kind of get an idea of how far in I need to trace this. Actually, let's see. Somewhere in there. And so I take this guy, and so somewhere around there, I just need to notch that out with a little extra. And that should give me whatever I need to go flush up against this washer area. Okay, so there's a trick to finding the center of where this hole needs to be started, going through the wood this way. And so that trick is we put this tight up to their workpiece, take the Forstner bit, which has this guide point. This extends beyond the blades, and what it does is it keeps the blade from wiggling when you're doing these big shaving cuts. So we're going to insert it into the hole. There's a 3/4 inch hole here in the middle. That's where the shaft of the bolt travels through. And if I can get it started, there we go. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to hold it, and then my assistant is going to tap this, the end of this, while I hold it together. That's enough probably. And then there's going to be a little dot here. Why don't we do one more more serious whack? All right, yep. So that's it right there. So what's going to happen is I'm going to clamp this workpiece down, and then I'm going to shave it, and it's just going to miss the washer cut right there. And then I'm going to bore through, and then I'm going to be able to attach my bolt, which sits into this hex-shaped pocket here. So that will sit inside, and then it'll be all ready to go. And I think it'll be a little bit more improved design than just having clamps on the front, because honestly, again, as I said, the folding tables that I'm using are kind of flimsy, so I don't want too much wiggle. I think it'd be better if I can clamp it in the back and hold it down and keep it from tipping in the future. So anyways, off to drill this out. Okay, so it's assembly time. I'm going to put this bolt, so I have bolts going in two directions, and then I'm going to put the other one in there. I'm going to give them a little bit of a tap. So now they're through, and so hopefully this guy will settle up here. One thing I don't have is a wrench, but you get the general idea here. So that's tightened up. And this one, same thing. Ah, it slipped right on. And so the plan actually was to make these removable. I was going to make a box. And so that was the idea of keeping these holes rather than plugging them. I thought about actually having a little worktop, but I think this is a better version of a portable Moxon vise with my outriggers here. So now all I have to do is put this front plate back on with the washer, and a handle. I'll mess up my threads. There we go. So we'll spin these on. And this stuff out of the way. Got my springs in here. It helps quickly release the jaw, or whatever you want to call this. So that's my guy. So, all right. Hope that helps. Hope somebody out there thinks this is useful. So thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing.